part of people's biggest downfall is unreasonable expectation of others. They expect people to solve too many of their problems when it's our own responsibility to solve our issues. I was just recently thinking about an ex situation, ex partner. It just popped into my head. I don't want to get it twisted like I'm interested in any way. It's not. It was just, I think we all go through periods in life. Like you just have a little moment, it just pops into your head and you recount a situation. And like I've documented this ending of a situation, to be honest, in my books, and people know how traumatic it was and tumultuous and chaotic, traumatic. It literally was an absolute train wreck of a mess where we had to go through family court. So there's a lot of bitterness, and to be honest, I don't like who they are now. We wouldn't vibe now with different people, but it gets you thinking, like, what if things had turned out differently? And then you go back far enough, and you just think, like, there must have been a period when you was happy, otherwise why would you have been together? And there was, like, literally, this is where it's coming to. So this isn't me trying to reminisce deeply or go. That's why I don't want to get people thinking it's twisted. But it is an understanding that at a certain period there was like a happy period together, and like I've mentioned it even in my books. Like she was my queen. Like you've gone from queen to someone I absolutely don't even respect or like. It's just that's life. And I'm not saying this to be cruel. It's just we're just different people now. So were they wearing a mask to mirror me, sort of thing, to make me, because that's what some people do. They're like chameleons. Or was that genuinely a side of them that was endearing and it was nice? So like we was vibing nice off each other, great, and I was just happy with them. So where does it all go wrong? Now, of course, there's accountability on ourselves. So there's, obviously, it's not one side is wrong and the other side's perfect. It's not the case at all. Especially when you're younger, you're going to make lots of mistakes when we're younger. So of course, um, it's like an even amount of issues, I guess. I think that's how you got to look at it. But it's like some people just become incredibly spiteful after, and that's where it sort of takes a different nosedive. So it's not, it might be, maybe you say 50-50 in the situation, but outside of that situation, 80-20 to them, because some people just get like I say, they get spiteful. They don't care about anybody else. They'll do anything they can just to win something. It's just crazy. But if we go back, and I just think to the situation, I think they expected too much of me. Like this is what I'm talking about here. So this is like an accountability thing, and because I was thinking about it, I thought it might help other people. Because then the other side of me was thinking, what if they were the person I was supposed to be with? Like if you think of it that way, what if they were supposed to be the person I stay with for life? Because I saw them as my queens. They had the potential for that. Um, so I think it's sad when things like in that sense, if it had the potential for it, like why do things go wrong? And that's literally where my mind was going, and I just thought it might help other people. Because in reality, they was just expecting too much of me to solve all of their issues. And I was helping. I was trying to help them find their identity. I was helping push them to pursue things they enjoy, find aspirations, and literally evolve. Sort of feeling down and find something that benefits you. But then it's like on the other side of that, they expect too much of you. So like we can't be everything. So there were issues. Like financially, it was really hard. Every time I tried to look for a job or get a job, I couldn't because I had the children to look after, and the dynamic just didn't allow it. It really didn't. She had health problems. It was like up and down like a yo-yo because depression and all sorts. There was times when she would just collapse, especially when she was pregnant. So that's the thing people don't see behind the scenes. There's too much of this stigmatism where if you're not working, you're lazy, and it's like I was far from lazy. And that's the thing. I will always stand by that, and I'll always acknowledge that. Like, I don't regret it. I don't care how things turn out in the end. I don't care about money. I never have. So money isn't like the barometer of success to me. It's not. I think people get it twisted. So yeah, when you account for that, let's say you was together maybe 8 years, and maybe you've lost. Maybe it's £25,000 a year for a typical average job. Of course, in the UK, salaries aren't particularly high. But then this stands to reason that in that period, there may be financially, if I wasn't in that relationship, that's £200,000, isn't it? That you've lost in earnings in that sense. Okay, so what? I don't care. It's like, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't look back with hatred or anything like that. But people would consider it lazy, like you was lazy, and it's like, no, I didn't. I just did everything for free. I did everything for free, and I was always working on myself. I did a year at Open University, so it was remote learning. Like I said, I took looking after the children. Um, I was even like always like enhancing my own skills. I was even trying to get into like live streaming and things, trying to find niches with myself. I started really learning web design. All these things I was learning, I was always evolving, you know. And then I would help her gravitate to things she would do. So we started helping dog rescues and things like that. And then we started doing posters for the dog rescues. And then her friend started a dog walking business, so I helped them create a website and all these sort of things, you know. But I didn't get no money for any of this. So this is the point. It's like it was all like everything was a selfless act. But again, everybody thinks you're lazy, and I just think that's what I'm getting at here. Is that I think for all the other sides of things, they were expecting me to be this rich, wealthy person for them, and I think that's sometimes where people get lost. They get lost expecting money all the time. And I personally think we should be holding ourselves accountable. Like I can't possibly, if I could, I don't see the point of it. Like that's not the life I want. So that's where we're different. If that's what you want, then that's not who I am. Like if money comes as a consequence of the things I do, then that'd be absolutely beautiful because no one wants to struggle financially. Um, but I wouldn't want to be someone who's wealthy but miserable or misery or a sellout. You know, I can't do it. I can't. I couldn't go down a career path where everything's just about money and people don't matter and life loses its meaning. Everything's a transaction. That's not me at all. Like if you're looking for someone like that, I'm the wrong person for you. On the same side of that, I just think we should hold ourselves accountable. Like for instance, if I want that money, let's say I wanted wealth in this lifetime, I would never expect someone to be wealthy and then I take off them, I would expect myself to elevate and pursue that. So if my mindset was I want £1 million, that's all I want now. I don't care about anything else. Then I would literally focus in on achieving that, and I would go career mind 100%, bomb, 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 because it's up to me to achieve that. It's not for me to expect someone to do it for me. And I just think a lot of people in relationships, they're expecting people to fill a void that they don't feel themselves. And I just think that's where it's mental. So, for instance, if money was tight and they didn't like it for some reason, then they could have done something about it if it bothered them that much. Not saying because I understand, like we're both living it. It was hard living like that, but I just couldn't do it any other way. There was times when I was applying for roles, for instance, and then I was getting an interview, and then there'd be things happening at home, and I'm like, how can I possibly take the role, knowing that I don't even know if I can go into work because I don't know if I'm going to be needed at home, and I was always needed, you know. But I like that side of life. I love doing the school runs. I love turning up to the assemblies in the morning, watching the kids. I like to go and see the plays. Um, I love that. That's for me is priceless, and I think people take it for granted, and they don't. I don't know why, because I absolutely love it, and I just think those moments you don't get for long. Um, so I'm not here to talk about all the misery that come after, but it did break my heart when everything fell apart and they left and they changed our lives forever because I lost all of that, and that was life that I actually cherished. You know. Um, But like I say, like, we've got to hold ourselves accountable, though. So I'm the one that, for instance, if you look at what I do, I'm the one that puts myself front and center in front of the camera. I'm the one that speaks from the heart. I'm the one that tells my story. I'm the one that shares with my thoughts and on life and things like that. I'm the one that does my books. I don't ask anyone to do anything for me. I do it myself. You know, even the books themselves. I'm too independent. You know, I literally, like I've said in other videos, I write the books, I edit the books, I do the cover design, I come up with the title, I do the blurb on the website, you know, on the store pages. I'm the one that has to publish them to the stores. The whole process is me. Um, and I think that's the thing because I do everything myself. I have a recognition that it's up to us to achieve whatever it is we set out for, and don't be ridiculously expectant of others because I just think you lose sight of reality. If you're, do you know what I mean? Like, especially relationships, it's if you find someone you love and there's chemistry and there's a connection, it's like, is that not enough? Like, why has someone got to provide for you? Why can't you just provide for yourself and have that moment where you've got that safety net, that love, that support at home? That's all that person should be giving. Now, it's not a case of I'll put up with people who are leeching because I say that a lot. This is something else I just don't understand. Like I'm a transparent person. I'm too transparent. So I've been off work for about a year and a half now because I got a back problem. The previous job, it was like cast iron stuff I was having to lift along with a forklift, but it was ridiculous. It was just getting heavier and heavier. It's really hurt my back. So it's really hard for me to just go and do heavy lifting roles. So it's messed me up in warehousing roles, for instance. So I've always done warehouse forklift. Aside from this stuff, that's what I do as a traditional job, and it's been really hard. But money's getting tighter, and to be honest, I just want to be more successful, you know. Um, So anyway, there's a job I'm taking up soon on Monday. It's 4 on 4 off, which is long days. So I don't even know if my body can handle it. We're going to see if I can handle 12-hour shifts. I'm hoping I can, because I talk about work-life balance all the time, and I think 4 on 4 off. Although you'd lose some weekends, depending on how the rotor when it reaches those weekends. Well, I think in terms of work-life balance, that's great. You work 4 days. You give 4 days of your life, but you'll gain 4 days in return. So you've got half and half. That's fair in a sense. Most people work 5 days a week, so they only get 2 days off. So you're giving 5 days of your life, even if it's not 12-hour shifts, you're still exhausted by the end. You still haven't got a lot left of the day. Effectively, working days are working days. You don't get much to do but apart from work on those days. So most people work 5 days, and then you get 2 days in return. You give the job 5 days, you get 2 days back. That's not enough. That's not balanced at all. So I think this 4 on 4 off is great. I give you 4, I get 4. I give you 4. That's good. Um, so yeah, and there's a website called Take Home Calculator. You can put in your annual salary or your hourly wage, and it will tell you what you get in return in the UK. So mine's like 1,980 something, I think it was. So nearly £2,000 a month, take home pay. But it's paid every 2 weeks. It's not quite that, but there'll be like an extra week or two somewhere in the year, because there's only 28 days to 4 weeks, so you're not actually getting that per month, but over the year. Um, so I think it's like 915 a week, but every 2 weeks. But the point there is that's self sufficient. I'm doing that myself. I'm not asking someone to earn the money for me. I'm just doing it myself, even with issues. And I'm capable at times to do these things. But so this is forklift role. So it's supposed to be only forklift. So that would help me on my back. So we can obviously have to see how things go, really. Um, but the part that I struggle with is understanding people who are in relationships who earn similar money, but twice. So let's say you're in a couple, you both got a similar job to me, you've got £4,000 a month. How the hell is someone on £4,000 a month struggling? Because I hear this all the time, couples, they're always moaning, like, oh, we haven't got any money. And I'm thinking, you've got twice as much as me. You've got the same bills as me. It doesn't make sense. My rent doesn't go down because there's only one of me. I can't cut my grocery shopping in half. There's no way. This is where people hide. It's not, because a lot of time I have to throw food away sometimes because there's not enough people to consume it. I can't help it. Like, it comes in 6 tomatoes in a pack. You got a whole lettuce. I know these are just basic things. Whole pack of apples. Potatoes. Even if I want a burger, for instance, I have to have 4 buns. I don't want 4 burgers all week. I don't want 4 buns. And this is what, if I want hot dogs, 6 buns. I'm forced to eat hot dogs continuously to get you to the buns don't go off. So I think people are delusional. They always act like it's different for them, and it's not different, because some of us are actually acutely aware that our bills are the same as yours, but you have twice. So what does that say? If they don't have a lot, it means one of those in a relationship is draining the life out of the other one. Because either one's paying all the bills and the other one gets to spend on what they want, or the other one's encroaching on the bill money too. So it's an imbalance. And that's incredibly disrespectful, to consume everything that someone else has earned or not evenly contribute. But yeah, so like I say, I think it's really important that we're accountable of ourselves, though, and we achieve what it is we need, rather than expect someone else to do it, because then you don't misconstrue a relationship. Like, for instance, if I'm in a relationship, for instance, I'd love to be in a relationship, but of course you can't force these things. You have to actually be in love with someone. But my expectation within love and within a relationship is literally that we're respectful of each other, and we're supportive of each other. In no way do I even care about any money. I don't need them to earn money. I don't care. Like, my money isn't incredible. But if it can sustain me, it can sustain the pair of us, because I would already be covering the bills, and I could already pay for the grocery shopping and all those things. So it doesn't go up much with someone else there. It's not about someone leeching, because if they're supportive in other ways, maybe while you're at work, they help tidying. Who knows? But that's what I'm saying. When the shoe's on the other foot, people expect too much of you, though. Like, why? because you just ruined a relationship because you expected too much of the individual when you just, it's about holding ourselves accountable and stop looking at other people to be this and be that. It's like, do you love them? Yes. Are they respectful of you? Yes. Well, ain't that enough? Ain't that enough? If someone's just sitting at home spending your money, then that's disrespectful, isn't it? That's where it gets different. So I'm not saying about like being with lazy people, but if someone's not going to contribute at all, like they're not contributing at all around the home, like you're having to come home, you're tidying up, you literally, people know their own dynamics at home. So yeah, if you feel like you're being disrespected, then call it out and deal with it. But I don't think um, just expecting everything of someone is fair and reasonable. And I think what problem you're doing is you're negating the opportunity to have a natural, loving relationship with someone because you have a ridiculous expectation that they should provide for you or they should have the same financial status as you or something. It's like, that's so stupid. Like, who cares about things like that? I think too many people just put the wrong emphasis on the wrong thing. Like, it's just stupid things. Like, who cares? I get really annoyed about money in general because I don't like people's weird fascination with it. You see so much crime and you see other things. I know this is deviating, but I see it all the time. And it's like, but what does money get you? Like, in general, what does money get you? It'll buy you something today you'll be bored of tomorrow. So you need it again. So really, it's providing distractions for the most part. Now, it can elevate your life and it can give you great memories. You can travel. You can do. I'm not saying it is all negative, but people's attachment to it is negative. There's too much emphasis on it, and there's too much of this. I'm taking off this, and I don't care about your life. And there's so much crime and hate, and I just look and the greed, and I just look and think, but what are you spending it on? Absolute junk, absolutely junk that's worthless. And yet you deem that more valuable than the life you just ruined to acquire it. Like, what on earth does that say about you? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, it is so stupid. So, what matters more? What matters more in life? What matters more is our values we hold of ourselves, how accountable we are of ourselves. Those things you can't buy. You can sell it for sure because people sell their souls all the bloody time. They've got no principles. But I think when you hold yourself accountable, you stand with your head held high. Um, so for me, that is it's just more important that we're accountable. And of course, love is priceless. It's not something you can buy. We see it all the time, don't you? Where like maybe someone in their 80s is married to someone in 17. It's crazy, and that person sees money in the old man, and the old man just sees youth and like fulfilling desires and stuff. But is it love? That's not love. That's not love. You couldn't pretend that's love to me. That's crazy. Um, so yeah, you can argue. Some people try to buy love, but it's not love. That's just lust and all sorts of shit. That's investment in all the wrong areas. Love is something you can't buy. So why do we sort of give up so easily? Because we attach finances to it. There's nothing wrong with a poor person being with a wealthy person because the bank balance means nothing in the end. And when it comes down to it, you've got two people sitting together or doing things together, and you're both equal because we're all souls in the human experience. Some people have better opportunities than others. Some people are more ambitious than others. There's so many reasons. Some people are more driven. But these are all sort of like career aspects. These are not your sort of basic personality, the bits that define us. They are part of us for sure because it sets us apart sometimes. But I don't think people should take such a leap of a distance um, between others. I don't like people looking down at others just because they have more of something. And it's like, yeah, but the more you have of that thing isn't that important in the overall scheme of things. It's like we're all people. Let's recognize that where we leave this earth with nothing, we came with nothing. Um, don't get it twisted. Don't get above yourself and lose sight of reality. So yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong. But again, people look at that, won't they? But that's the problem with society as a whole, and it trickles down. If someone's wealthy and there is someone poor, you'd naturally say the poor person's with that one because they got money. But that just shows your way of thinking, doesn't it? That's all you think about is money all the time. You can't possibly think that people could be in love. And you see that as well. Maybe there's a really pretty woman, or the other way around, and there's an ugly guy, and you go, God damn, he must be good in bed, or he must be funny as hell. That's people's natural reactions to it. That's what they say all the time, isn't it? They do. Or he must have money. And it's like all these things. They must have it must be this or this or this because that's the only way you can quantify and understand um, that person would be attracted to that person without like thinking. Some people look past all those things that you think are important, and they just see the person across from them, and they love their personality, and that's enough for them. But it's not enough for some other people because people expect too much of other people. It's about defining ourselves. Like, what do you want in life, and achieve it yourself. You don't have an expectation of someone to do it for you, someone to provide this for you. That's just being lazy. That really is, and it's like letting yourself down. Because if someone, I've always had this mindset of if someone can do this, then I can do it. I just need to learn it just the same way they did. You know, now to an extent, I couldn't possibly evolve myself into a singer. So there's like natural talents, but for the most part, if you see someone successful in something, there's a chance you could be successful doing it too. But it's like how much do you want to push yourself to learn and experience it and become better. But that's for us to achieve. So when you expect someone else to do it all the time, you're negating the opportunity for you to evolve to be able to do it. So you're actually giving up your chance to be successful. So you always have to hide behind someone else. Yeah. So I'm not looking for people who it would be interested in me for the wrong reasons. And I'm transparent about that. Like if you're looking for me to be your savior, then you're looking at the wrong person because that's not what my life's about. I take risks because I always do what I feel called to do. So if you're looking for someone who can provide financial stability your entire life, absolutely guaranteed, I'm not going to be able to guarantee that. I'd like to think in the future I could be wealthy. I'd like to think I could be successful. I'm getting better with money. So I am improving for sure. Like I've always been like precarious with money, but I haven't had the lessons. I've learnt my lessons. Now I'm of the mindset, right, I'm going to focus on repaying debt. It's something I had trouble with in the past, and I think a lot of people do, because I want to be able to increase my credit limit. So if there's ever a purchase I need or something I need, I've got something to fall back on in an emergency or something that I can, or something that I can have because, it's a good deal or something like that. But I'm already used to paying it back and I'm comfortable paying it back. That's a lesson I've had to learn. And I've learned that lesson. I also want a minimum of like £1,000 in savings. So this is my mindset going into the new job. I might buy myself something cheap when you get paid, like little things, nothing crazy. The main thing is get the debts down so you've got that to fall back on. I want £1,000 in savings account, so I've always got that as well. That is not money I would touch for anyone. Like that's literally there as your safety net. And then after that, I'm hoping I get used to doing it, where I just keep saving. So instead of buying things, I consider that the saving is me like buying money. So you've still got that feeling that you're doing something. It's a transaction, but you put it in the right way. But these are things I'm learning now for myself. That these are what I should have been doing all along. It's what other people should be doing all along. Because I think when you've got your own financial safety net, then you're not so reliant on someone else anyway, and you're not seeking more from them than they should. And I just think, like especially relationships, I think just dismissing someone or losing out on the chance of a love of a lifetime, like a genuine love of a lifetime, kindred spirits, all because someone doesn't amount to the standard you set that's unreasonable in the first place. All you had to do was love them and let them love you in return. And fundamentally, that should be enough on itself. And like, it's not about mirroring each other, just because, like, let's say you want to be like in the corporate ladder, you want to be a managing director, you want to be these things. It doesn't mean your partner has to want those things too. I think expecting each other to mirror each other is just stupid. And a lot of time it's boring to have that anyway. Like sometimes when people are just opposites or different, it makes things a bit more exciting anyway, because it opens you up to different parts of life. But again, I just think people lose sense of reality, and I think it's just sad. You should just love someone for who they are, including their flaws. But again, if someone's disrespectful, that's different. So, but yeah, I think people have unrealistic expectation of others, and I think it's sad and really their potential downfall. I always think that you don't want to get to the end of life with regrets. Like that would surely be a regret for many, because if you can imagine doing that, like at some point of your life, your finances are hard, and too many people they give up now when life gets hard. Now they give up too quick, expecting someone else to be their savior, and I just think it's crazy. Like, why would you give up so easily? It's a little bit more effort, and you can survive, and then thrive. But imagine like losing a genuine love, because you can't handle poverty or something. Because most people can't handle poverty. And then at some point in your life, you become more financially stable, and you look around and think, like, I don't trust anyone, or haven't found love like I used to have. And then maybe you think, oh, I love that person, and they loved me, but I pushed them away because money was too tough. But now more than anything, I have the money. It only fulfills one part of me. But now I want to feel love, and I love that person. Then, like, why throw it away in the first place? You could have just built together, you know? There's so many sides to that, but it's just that realistic. I just want people to understand it's about being accountable for self. You know, I saw this video and it logged into my head. This girl, young girl, like woman, maybe 19 or something. And she was like, if someone can't give me a Range Rover, then I'm not interested in them. And that seared into my soul, because it typified how society is today. And I just thought, that's crazy. You want a transaction, you don't want love. And you're prepared. And the way I saw that was, your soulmate could be someone that's poor, but that you would love each other, you have great memories, you'd vibe. And you're prepared to give that up, potentially. Well, I say potentially, they would, because they've just said what their standard is. They would give that up for a transaction. So if you can give them a Range Rover, they would literally hold themselves prisoner to a relationship, because all they see is money and glitter and glamour. And they will be miserable beyond the spending. The spending gets exhausting. So there's only so much you can buy before it's meaningless. Maybe you get to go on holidays, but you're on holiday with someone maybe you don't even like, let alone love. So that feels empty and lonely and heavy. And those people end up turning to alcohol and drugs to try to get them away from, help that clear their mind and keep them away from the misery. So I look at people and just think, why can't you just see that there's more to life than this temptation that money is? Like, money's good if you use it in the right way, but it shouldn't be the be all and end all. And I just think it's really sad, because literally you can go on a cheaper holiday with someone. Literally, it doesn't even matter. It really doesn't. It's like, just as long as you get a break somewhere and you're with the person you love, you're as top of the world. You're free as can be. And you have the whole world open to you. And you never know when life takes a good turn. Life will always have bad turns too. But you never know when life improves. And you've got your best friend next to you all the time. You've got someone you trust, someone you're building with. And I just think, you can't buy that. That's more important than money. It really is. Like, I like going, like, for instance, me, I like going Crete. It's not an expensive holiday, but I absolutely love it there. I think it's beautiful. And I enjoy going. I like the coach trips. They're very cheap. It's like €40 just to go to the other end of the island and back, all day. That is, and you'll see a few different places along the way. Now, someone that's maybe wealthy, they have different standards and expectations. Maybe they have to hire a car. Now, I hired a car as well for a few days as well, and I enjoyed all that. I went to the beach and all sorts of things. So I enjoyed that. But some people have such a high standard, they miss out on life. Like, you wouldn't, like, some people, they're so above themselves, they wouldn't know what it's like to just sit on a coach with other people who are also going on this adventure. It's a bit hot. You got the sun in the window, so you're trying. It's all this. It's all part of the experience, you know. It's like, I enjoy all that, and it's cheap. So just because you don't have money doesn't mean you can't have an adventure. You can still have an adventure on a budget. And I can't wait to share my life with someone and have those adventures with them. I really want to go on holiday with someone, but it's got to be someone I love, you know. And love you can't force, you can't rush, but it definitely will never, with me, be defined by money. I don't care if I've got more than someone or less than someone. As long as we trust each other and we support each other, I think that's just that's what it's all about. So I don't have an unrealistic expectation of someone, because my only expectation is love. But I think too many people do have an unfair expectation, and I'm reasonable, and it's their own downfall. You just see them all the time. They're just chasing something. They're chasing a shadow. They don't realize that they're chasing the wrong things, and that's why they're not really getting anywhere. So anyway, if you want something, strive for it yourself. Don't expect someone to do it for you. If you can't do it, then just change your expectation, because obviously you're striving for something that's almost impossible, and you're going to destroy situations in the process, because maybe you don't even need what it is you're expecting. Because too many people, they look at what other people have and they want to mirror it, and it's like you don't need that though. It's a lot easier living minimal, like really is. It's like if you don't have a lot, you can have things. Like I like physical media and things like that, so I'm less reliant on streaming services. Now I still have streaming services and I have live TV and I like my sports and things. But if I had a blackout, for instance, or something like financial mess, whatever it is, I've got plenty to consume me. I've got plenty. I've got video games. I've got my movies. I've got my music. It's like I'm happy in my own little bit. But too many people, they're reliant on keep acquiring and attaining or having this or having that, and it's like sometimes you can just exist with what you have, though, can't you? Do you really need deliveries coming to your door all the time? Do you really need these extra services? Do you really need a bit more glamour and bling around you? You know, like look at me, plain black t-shirt. I've got about 10 of these. I'm a very basic person. I'm not interested in designer shit. I don't need a chain around my neck. I don't need a bracelet. I don't need a watch. You know, I don't need none of these things. I've got a Fitbit, £100 Fitbit. It's not on charge. I'm gonna need to charge it soon. But the point is, I don't need expensive things to feel valued in myself. That doesn't say anything. So you can like put a better suit on. You can do all this and do that. It doesn't make you better, and it's an expense. So anyway, I'm just really explaining the unnecessaries in life, and I just want people to see the value in themselves and really the value in others. In the fact that what do they actually bring to your life in terms of like support? Because that's more important than money. Nothing worse than feeling empty sitting with someone, is it? You know. And I think to see love as a transaction is quite, to me, it's quite maddening.